Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning to each and every last one of you. Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. We are so excited to have each and every last one of you. And we are grateful, grateful, grateful. I hope you guys are doing good this morning. We wanted to give you guys something that we hope would actually be of a blessing to each and every last one of you. Not sure what's going on with this shirt, but we here. Good morning, everybody. Gracious morning to all of you. Praying that you guys are doing good on this morning. So good on this morning. Let's make sure that our people are on here. It looks like everybody got the message. So that's good. Communication is always, always great. Good morning. I see you guys. I'm going to share it with some folks as well. And let's see if we can get some folks on here to, yes. Good morning, Zelinda. Good morning. Good morning. Yes. This is going to be an interesting topic. We've talked about this before in some degree, but I wanted to go a little bit deeper to talk about the sting of rejection and how it leaves us emotionally depleted. And why so many, endure the sting of rejection, why so many of us endure, this level of stuff called rejection. I'm going to send it to about 60 folks. And I hope that you guys are sending it out to folks. Make sure you make your page public so that people can see it more readily and we can get the kind of algorithms. And you guys are helping me to do great. I think our last video did over, 1,000 impressions, over 600 views, which is wonderful. Tell your friends to look at it while they're driving. It increases the algorithms as well. Take a listen to it. Good morning, Judy. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I see you guys. Make sure you share with folks. Share, share, share. I'm going to share with about 20 more people. And then we'll be ready to rock and roll. While I am sharing, I want you all to consider rejection. And I want you guys all to think about whether or not you have been rejected or whatever the case may be. And if you're still moving in that, and we're going to find out today, if you're still moving in that, you're going to see my screen go black, but you will still continue to hear me. I'm going to grab something. And so make sure that you share this with folks in the next 30 seconds while I go and grab something. And so make sure you tell people regarding rejection. And how rejection has impacted your life. So we are excited for this morning. Thank you so much. And we have shared it with the last few folks. And let's see what the end is going to be. As we have shared it, you'll be surprised. And don't just share it to women. Men go through and deal with rejection as well. Be surprised. And sits with them for a very, very, very long time. All right. So let's get to the gettings of this morning. Yes, good morning. Thank you guys for the loves and likes. I need it. I do need it. I'm a very confident person. I'm a very self-motivated person, but it's always very nice to know that people really, really, really enjoy what it is that you are doing and that they are getting something out of it. I'm not here to do this for naught. There is a plan. There is an intention behind why I'm doing this. One, I really am prepping and really trying to move the stakes along so that I would love to have my own syndicated talk show, even on a broader scale than this, and to speak to the masses. I believe 1 million ears. I believe I've been coached by God and trained by him enough to treat people well and to treat information well so that people can get what they need and to live better. I find it always very daunting when people have the power and the authority and the influence over people and they abuse it. It is always my prayer that, Lord, I don't waste people's time, which is why I try to communicate if we're going to be not running on time, which is totally my pet peeve. I hate not running on time, but it's very interesting. I'm always like, wow, what happened to Oprah when she was doing these live tapings, and they would be up at 3:30 a.m. and it's time 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you're not ready. It's like, whoa, and you need to be ready. You got to go on. It's just what it is. And so training myself to do that even more effectively and all of those great things and going from here. All right. So it is my endeavor to be a blessing to you all. My name is Dr. Lakita, and thank you guys for all your stars too. I looked and I was like, I've got stars, and it translates into money. So thank you guys for the stars. It matters to me. It matters to me. We have a lot of things that we use and utilize and expenses and things of that nature. Not everything is free, believe it or not. And it comes with a cost. And so we are elated that you guys deem what we're doing as something worthy. And we thank you for the stars and those that have sent cash apps as well. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. It is not unnoticed. And every last bit of it is absolutely necessary and gratefully accepted. So thank you, thank you, thank you for that. So without further ado, this I Speak Life broadcast, we are going to look at the sting of rejection. We're going to look at the sting of rejection. And I want us to take a look at it because it, like many other things, affects our mental health in such a serious way, And then I'm going to share with us 10 interesting facts about rejection. Okay? About rejection. And while we are looking at various things, okay, and I'm going to tap into something about the art of engagement. Most times our rejection comes about because of the way in which we have engaged with someone or not properly engaged with someone. And so that level of experience, interpersonally speaking, from one person to the next, creates a cycle in our head, a memory in our head about something. And I want us to talk about this whole art of engagement and how it aids and how it impacts the levels of rejection, and why people are not engaging well. And usually it's because of the breach of rejection that has occurred, right? That has happened. And so it doesn't take place. So we're going forward. We've got some stuff to look at, and I want to just really be able to share. So the sting of rejection is our topic for today. I'm Dr. Lakita, the Marketplace Evangelist, coming here to bring you information about how you can better your own life using biblical principles and psychological concepts. The founding principle for me is God's word. I have come to find that it is absolutely above all things, one of the best remedies to getting free mentally and emotionally. And if we're going to actually get those things from the great book, we're going to have to renew the thinking and the processing of our minds. Are we ready? Okay, perfect. So let's get started with the beginning. Our preface. Rejection is one of those things that has an effect after it has been done. It is hurtful, confusing, and sets our minds on a course that we are not knowing how to change. Rejection for many people have created a severe setback in the way people think about themselves and how they navigate things outside themselves. For a lot of people, processing and dealing with rejection takes a toll on their psyche, and they are unable to complete the process of healing. Believe it or not, I propose that rejection is one of the 7 most deadliest pillars to why so many people fall prey to depression, anxiety, self-injury behavior, sabotage-like behaviors, and the such. It fuels this constant, invisible yet visible insecurity that always has you guessing or being off-kiltered. Rejection is defined as the dismissing or refusing of a proposal, an idea, or even someone's personhood. It is the absolute opposite of feeling accepted and belonging, and it creates a trickery in the way in which people engage. Rejection, though, be clear, means that at one time, in one situation, with one person, things didn't work out. How rejection becomes dangerous is that that one-time experience becomes a lifetime reminiscing over that hurtful thing. Somehow rejection gets continuously brought up because you began to think about it constantly in your head, and it is what creates the hurt. Rejection hurts, but it only hurts because you deeply profound connect who rejected you and the importance of that person in your life. And the hurt also comes because you are trying to navigate how you're going to keep that relationship intact. Rejection affects people in many different ways, and it affects people in a different kind of way concerning their mental aspect. When people are rejected, it will oftentimes do the following: increase their anger. Their ability to be angry is one thing. They become overly angry because of the rejection that is laden and subconsciously underneath all of the stuff gets played out in the overacting of anger. If you are a person that finds yourself overly angry and angered, it's probably because rejection is pushing the button. Rejection and the feeling of rejection that's laden, that is sitting there, that is under the current. So rejection brings about this increasing in anger. Okay, I want you to understand that. Very important. It also heightens and it exemplifies anxiety, which is this constant fear and apprehension that something is going to happen bad to you, or something is going to happen that you wished it not to happen. So anxiety takes on a whole nother role when rejection is involved. Such is the case with depression. Depression becomes the result, the fruit, if you will, of the rejection. After many years of being rejected, or let's say 1 or 2 times that you have been rejected. I want to be clear because I want you to understand what I'm trying to say. The 1 or 2 times you've been rejected, it becomes many times because you create many cycles in your head. Come on here, cycles. We're here to break the cycle. Break the cycles in your own head from the one time you were rejected by the boy when you were 16. So now every encounter, engagement with a man is always the constant memory of the rejection. So your body, your mind, your spirit moves in the way in which you experienced when you were 16, but now you're 46. So the rejection takes on a different level of being in your being and creates depression. Rejection also shows up in the format of jealousy. Hello, somebody. People who have a spirit of jealousy and move about in that way, they are deeply rejected people and or feel rejected on some level. Why are you jealous of me? We're all humans. We all bleed. It turns red when the oxygen hits. Hello, somebody. Depending on what you are, male or female, we got 2 of this and 2 of that and 2 of, hello, somebody. 2 butt cheeks, 2 2 eyes, one mouth, 2 ears, 2 boobies, whatever. So you're jealous. And as a result of the jealousy, because of a rejected moment you had in your life, you're creating a hostile environment for me. Come on, sis. Come on, brother. Put the rejection down. And the latter part of what happens when we are affected by rejection is sadness, an overwhelming sadness. You can't explain it. You're constantly ruminating over what you did or what somebody else did, and then it goes into a different level. And this is the next part that we're talking about. Rejection damages our mood and our self-esteem. Our self-esteem is shot when there's a rejection involved. And I want to constantly state that the rejection may have been a one-time thing. You were rejected by the pastor as it pertains to doing a particular ministry. So what you do is now you are cantankerous. You have no desire, no will to do anything at all. You have an indifferent spirit about it, forgetting that it was God that called you in the first place. You can't do the ministry in your church. Then guess what? You pray, you ask God, and you ask him, do I do this ministry? And he will let you know, because the prosperity will follow it. The provision will come because of it. And you will have the joy and peace that you need to have. So rejection damages our mood and self-esteem. It creates a swelling of angered field aggression. Hello, somebody, aggressive sisters. We women, we should be soft. There's a time and a place for everything. And too many of us women are too hard, too aggressive, too angry for a lot of different reasons that we're not being truthful. I mean, if this was a different kind of talk, if this was a woman talk, I would be telling you what I really believe some of this anger and aggression is about, whether you're married or single. That's another day. But I do believe that most people are not sexually satisfied. Hello, hello, hello. They do not enjoy their sexual self. Hello, oh my God. You don't enjoy the fact that you're a sensual person. What? Being sensual, being recognizing I'm a woman is a sin? No, it's not. It's not. And somewhere we've gotten it all wrong. And so as a result, we've now started rejecting our own selves. Hello, somebody. And the rejection then becomes this emotional wound. And the emotional wound, you and I, we deal with every day, especially if the emotional wound is being carried out in our own mind. So now we are the rejecter. We become the victim to our own rejections. Oh my God. Come on and give me a star for that. We become the rejecter to our own self. These emotional wounds. And you're wondering why stuff never gets cleared up. And you're wondering why your relationships stop abruptly. You keep saying he's ghosting you. And guess what? You ghosted him with your aggressive attitude. Hello, somebody. Men want women. They don't want to date Jesus. Hello. It's not praise the Lord when we on a date. Hug him. Hello. I'm just saying. I don't know nothing. I just go on dates. I don't know. I enjoy my life. Right. I don't know. But the rejection becomes so seated, and I'm very serious about it, because it's the minor rejections that create serious affects and off-balance setbacks. It leaves you feeling unwanted. And I'm going to steal a few extra minutes if you guys don't mind. There was a quote that I read, and I wrote it out. The greatest damage rejection causes is usually self-inflicted. I want you to get that. The greatest challenge, the greatest damage rejection causes is usually self-inflicted. Just when our self-esteem is hurting the most, we go and damage it more. I want you to think about that for a minute. Rejection in the fear of being rejected, it ranks as the top distressing thing in life today for people to experience. I want to look at two different types of rejection: emotional rejection and interpersonal rejection. Emotional rejection is the feeling that a person experiences when they're disappointed because of something that they wanted and they did not achieve it. It's a personal, emotional rejection. Oh, I really wanted to pass my exam for law and ethics last year, and I missed it by 1 point. Well, I was emotionally rejected. I felt it. And I felt it for actually 3 to 5, 6 days, to be honest. I felt really, really terrible. I was angry and upset because it means a whole lot to a whole lot, et cetera, et cetera. So that's emotional rejection. Rejection, interpersonal rejection, is rejection by a loved one. family, and or something like a job termination. These two things have the power to compromise the quality of someone's life and livelihood. Because we crave for acceptance just as being humans, that usually when there's been a breach in the relationship, it creates the interpersonal rejection. The danger of and the rejection and the sting of rejection is when the person starts rejecting themselves and self-harm emotionally. To accept is to believe, and to believe is to have options. Did you hear what I said? To accept is to believe, and to believe is to have options. When you and I have options, we think better. And we act upon our ideas with more clarity and intentional effort. Thinking better is what I'm after, because too many of us are not thinking better. And therefore, the sting of rejection is strong. I want you to understand that when you and I are involved in rejecting environments and rejecting situations, it cuts off our ability to engage well. So when you and I are trying to engage with people, watch how you engage with people. Some of you may approach new relationships very weary and wary. And I'm saying to you, check the levels of engagement that you have and the levels of rejection that you've experienced. And make sure that you are not rehearsing the rejection in your head. Rejection is when you and I don't have the ability to engage in the closing or the close-up of a thing. To engage with people is important. But when you're sitting at the table, but you're not allowed to input at the table, it will create rejection at that level of engagement. First things is first. Rejection will also do the following, and I need for you to jot this down. It will bring about chronic feelings of loneliness and depression. It will give you a fear of getting close to people. So you will move into the spirit of abandonment easily. You don't get close to people, you will isolate. Isolation leads to abandonment. Abandonment leads to feelings of I'm not worthy, leads to feelings of not worthy, I'm depressed. The depression moves you to lack of productivity and creativity. Lack of productivity and creativity, you become irrelevant. Hello! Irrelevant. Rejection can create mental health issues and social anxiety, avoidant personality, and borderline personality. These are not official diagnoses, just things that could lead to various traits and characteristics. All of the things that I've shared goes to this point, fear. Fear is actually the threat. With rejection, fear is the main threat. Say it with me. When I feel rejected, say it with me. When I feel rejected, the actual threat comes from fear. It's the fear of me not being able to have what I feel like I need in order to be secure. And that's why our security has to be in God, in God's word, in God's way, and our identity has to be founded in him. And I had so I do this whole charting, and I believe that there are 7 things that plague people's life, causing them to be what they are today. One of my pillars was rejection, the fear of rejection, because I experienced it on such a terrible space. But as I grew up and started to really look at things, the real rejection was me rejecting myself. 3 ways rejection plays a part in your level of engagement with other people. And this is very critical. Number 1, unfounded criticism. Unfounded. They say one thing, you hear another. It's because your brain is wired to hear criticism concerning yourself, especially if rejection is the fueling thing. Number 2, rumored conversations. So when you're moving all about, your whole outlook and your way of being is based upon the rumored conversations that you feel has already happened. So it sets you up for rejection. And the third one, my favorite, deliberate sabotage. 3 ways rejection plays in the engagement process of hanging out, talking with people, building relationships. There's a deliberate spirit of sabotage attached to you, my sister and my brother, when you have rejection at the helm of your spirit and your body and your mind and your thoughts. You are deliberately sabotage your efforts. Okay. I'm going to say 3 things and out of the 10. I believe there are 10 interesting facts that I researched and looked at regarding rejection. You ready? One of the, well, let me go back. Let me say it like this, just so you can have it. There are 4 types of rejection. Number 1, being ignored. 4 types of rejection. 1, being ignored. 2, terse and uncaring. 3, the nicely rejected rejection. We regret to inform you. That's the 3rd one. We regret to inform you. And the 4th type of rejection, the 4th type of rejection is the improvement rejection. You're doing okay, but improvement, that's the improvement rejection. They still reject you. The pressure, and I'll say this as we close, we'll have to come back to it, y'all. But the pressure of it all is that you look at it from this particular perspective. And I gave 5, I'm going to give 5 ways to recover from rejection. Rejection is so deep, but I want you to never forget the part that I said at the beginning, that it's usually one incident, it's usually one person, it's usually one thing that has happened. And that one rejection has now become a cascade of a lifetime, of a memory of what you feel is that you have been rejected over and over and over. And you may have had additional experiences of rejection, but I guarantee you, you start looking, it's probably mostly based and hinged upon the one that got you started. How to recover. You ready? Number 1, you have to, somebody say have to, dismiss the sender of the rejection. You've got to dismiss the sender's voice, and you will probably have to disconnect from your need to be in their presence for a season until you can get healed. You have to dismiss. Number 2, you have to allow yourself time to feel the rawness of the rejection. You have to allow yourself the time to feel it. Some of you been rejected and then you go on, I'm gonna be okay. Well, you ain't okay. It is 10 years later. Holla at your girl. You ain't okay because it ain't okay to be ignored, to feel stepped on, to feel belittled, and all of that with people that you have intimate relationships with. It is not okay. So no, you're not going to be okay if you haven't addressed it, if you haven't challenged it, if you haven't processed it, and if you haven't been okay with the fact that you are not going to keep doing me this way. And hey, more importantly than what they're not going to do, you got to tell yourself, and you are not going to keep receiving it in that way. Mindset, you are going to shift. Number 3, you got to be around people who are accepting you. You have to. You have to be around people who love you and who accept you. It's just a fact. It is just a fact. And when you are not, it shows up in their speech. So quit lending your ear, your body, your spirit to people who don't accept you and who don't care about you. It don't make a difference. Number 4, you must see what God is saying about you and adopt God's language. And you can't adopt God's language if you're not in God's presence. If you don't feel God's presence through prayer, through fasting, through the reading of his word. Hello, beloved, I wish above all things that you might prosper and be in health, even as your soul prosper. Soul needs to be well. It can't be well if you're feeling rejected every single day. You got to see what God is saying. You can do all things through Christ, which strengthens you. You ain't strengthened because you ain't doing it through Christ. Hello. And number 5, in conclusion, and thank you for your love. Change your narrative and interrupt negative thoughts. Oh, I can talk about negativity all day long. You got to change your narrative. Your narrative sucks. Your narrative sucks. And you are hiding behind spirituality. And that's why it sucks even more, because you are not using your spiritual authority and your walk with Christ and being a believer the right way. So your narrative is that, well, the Lord's got me. Well, yes, he's got you, but I promise you, you cannot leave your mind unrenewed. Hello. You cannot leave it unregenerated. You cannot leave your hurt as a wound so that it can fester to become something else. It ain't okay to just say, I'm going to get through it. You ain't got through it. It's 25 years later, sis, brother. You still getting over the pulpit with spewing out your hurtfulness over the people. Hello. You still make moves, and the moves involve people that done something to you when you was 12 and now you 50. So you ain't gotten over it, and you won't until you deal. Somebody say, I must deal so I can quit being ill. Oh, what? Oh, you got to deal so you can quit being ill. Oh, and every time you're ill, you know you ain't dealing. Hello. Every time you feel ill, every time you feel mentally weak, it's because you're not dealing with the stuff making you sick. That's all we got for today. I'm just saying. The sting of rejection be like, boom, but it don't have to remain like, boom. You can tell rejection, you don't get to captivate my thoughts today. And I can only speak because I lived under it. Listen, I lived under it, can write 5 books about it. Know what it looks like to be in the throes of this thing, like a jaw of rejection. And the reality at the end of the day, and I'm so very serious with this last point, the reality is that I rejected me the most. And when you reject yourself, people know when you don't care for you. And they won't want to be around you. You got to care for yourself beyond where you're at. So that's the reason why tomorrow, stay tuned, because we're going to talk about mindset in a way that you have never heard it talked about tomorrow. Tomorrow, I guarantee you, we're going to put 5 on it. If what I have to share with you regarding mindset tomorrow doesn't push your mindset to the next level, let's see what I will do. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do. But if it does change and do what it needs to do, then I want you to put 5 on it. You send me $5 and say, you know what? I never thought about mindset in that way. I'm going to send you $5, cash, whatever way you want to do it. I believe that our mindsets are so stuck on rejection and the rejective behavior and all of that, that we have reminisced and we have rehearsed something that took place 50 years ago, is no longer, but remains alive right up in here. All right. I hope today was a great day. I hope that you guys got something out of it. Thank you guys for allowing me to just be me. Thank you most importantly to allow me to do what I love to do. I absolutely love to do. And we're believing that God is going to allow us to expand and to do more, that we can be able to reach the millions of people that we believe that we are called to reach. And we can only do that by you hitting, sharing, openly telling people to share once they listen to it. Tell them to just listen to at least the first 5 minutes. Just all I need for them to do is just listen to the 5 minutes and then respond back. Tell them to come and respond back. If we can do that, I'm telling you, I can reach like 5,000 people every video. That's all I need. And those of you that are on here, if you guys each do that, really, to 20 people, we can have like 1,000 people reached just like that. Love y'all. And I lost 8 pounds, y'all. Woo, woo, we lost 8 pounds. Oh. That's what I'm talking about. I love y'all. Have a great rest of the day. Blessings. I got another broadcast to be on in just a little bit, but we're out of here. Much love. And let me know, please, because I respond to each and every last one of you every single time. Please let me know how this particular broadcast affected you, impacted you, blessed you, or whatever. Want to hear from you. We got a few more days for our I Speak Life Mental Health Tour. Give me some more topics, because we're almost done with the topics that you guys have suggested. And so we're going to make sure that we are thorough and doing so. We're going to figure out what we're going to do next. You got to figure out what we're going to do for November. Yikes. So we'll figure out what we're doing. Some people say, just stay with the I Speak Life. Stay with it. We'll see. Love y'all. Much love. Blessings to you. Oh, please do me the biggest favor. I'm going to post it on my page. And my It's Personal CD, 9 tracks. Please get it. Download it. It's only we changed the price. It's only $5.99. And so please get it. I know it's going to bless you. If you need healing in your body, healing in your mind, I'm going to post it. Do me a favor. It's $5.99. I need for each and every last one of you to go to my site, and I need for you guys to be such a blessing. And I'm going to do it actually right now. And I want you to purchase it. It's just $5.99. Can you do me that biggest favor and purchase it, being only $5.99? It's $5.99, and that's all I need is you guys to download it. I'm just trying to see. We want to try to see if we can do 100 downloads, and then 300 will get us into another category. But if we can do 100, that would be so super great. I'm going to post it right now. If it will allow me to do that, because I don't know what's on my page and why it's not doing it. It looks like something has hijacked my page because it's not showing up here. Oh, there it is. Okay. If you guys could do that and share with people, it's $5.99, and you will get the opportunity. All 9 tracks are downloaded immediately. And for whatever reason, it's not working. Let me know if you can see it. Okay, 9 tracks you get downloaded, $5.99. Please do me that big favor. It's on the thread. Please. If I can get 100 of you guys to do that, that'd be so awesome. I would so appreciate it majorly. Don't leave me out here hanging by myself. I love you guys so much, and thank you. And be looking out for some other stuff that we got, because you guys pushed me, which is why I'm probably not looking as fresh today. We did go ahead and do the ebook for Healing the Hate of a Mother. So we have the ebook for Healing the Hate of the Mother, and I hope you guys enjoy it. I think it's $7.99. So that will be published today because you guys pushed me to write it. So we wrote something for you guys, and hope that it's a blessing and a download. So love you. We're going to do another little proofreading of it so that y'all won't be saying she can't spell, she can't write, and that's any other. But that's what we're going to do. All right. So get the It's Personal, $5.99. That's all. I would greatly appreciate it. Love you. Bye-bye. Okay, now where am I at? There we are. Bye.